I'm going to teach you how to draw a landscape in one-point perspective. So the trick that I'm going to teach you today is a little different than maybe what you've generally learned, but it will help to draw trees or telephone poles or things like that in perspective without that aren't necessarily going to start out as a box. Something that would be, getting smaller as it gets further back in the picture. So the first thing you're going to do is make a horizon line. And I do very commonly say that your horizon line does not have to be straight, nor does it have to be in the center of your picture. But for today's purposes and for this project's purposes, it will be. And I just realized I should probably use a pen instead of my pencil so you can see it a little bit better. All right. Let's just hope I don't mess up. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is draw an X going through the center of the paper from corner to corner. Now, your rulers don't exactly line up corner to corner, so it's okay if your line is off a little bit. The goal is just to be close. Whoops. And I know you can't see my whole paper. I can't get the ladybug back far enough to do that. But I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. So I'm angling my ruler so that I get, that I cross at the same point here. Okay. I mean, look, this is nowhere near my corner, and that's okay. The main point is to have this X here. And the center of this is where your vanishing point would be. Okay? So on the right side of your picture, what I want you to do is to draw some trees. Yeah, I'm going to draw that off the side. And as we talked about spatial depth, showing depth in space, the trees are going to get smaller as they get further back, right? We also know then that the one closest to us is going to be the tallest, it's going to be the biggest, and we know it's going to have the most detail. So I'm going to start by drawing my tree here, touching the edge of my line. I'm going to let it branch out, and I want kind of the top of my branches where I'm going to add my leaves to hit this top line. I'm going to give my tree some branches. There, we'll branch out again here. Okay, and like I said, the most detail, so I'm going to give my tree some bark. Now, note that down here, I did not put both sides of my tree trunk along this line. If you do that, your tree is going to look funny, like it's falling over or something. Trees don't normally do that. You have to think about the fact that there would be grass here. It would be growing. Your tree would be level. It's not going to grow against the road. And then let's get some leaves up here. It's okay if you go over the line a little bit. I've gone over that. Overlapping is okay. Also because it's going to make the tree look more realistic. Again, if I'm drawing exactly to that line, eventually I'm going to erase this line. And then this tree would look funny and be cut exactly to that line. That would not look normal. So, don't do that. Alright, now I'm going to go a little bit further down my line. I'm going to draw another tree. Again, thinking about the fact that it's going to be smaller than my last one. It doesn't have to look exactly the same. Trees don't really grow the same. I know that things overlap in the distance, so it's okay if I draw this tree a little bit behind the other. And it's going to have less detail. So I am going to put a little bit of bark, but not as much as I did on the first one. Again, I'm going to draw my leaves. Okay, I've overlapped here. The tree goes behind. And again, I finished out my tree. I'm not concentrating too much on where that line is. All right, and now I'm going to draw a third one, again in the distance. Again, thinking about this one's smaller. It's less detailed. It's okay to overlap. Also not going to draw my tree against the road. All right, and I'm probably, well, I am tempted to draw a little bit of bark. All right, so there are my trees. That's how you draw an object in perspective, a line of objects in perspective. And because I drew in pen, I can't go back and do this, but what you would do now is to go back, erase this horizon line that goes through all the trees, and I can erase this line above all the trees, okay, because those wouldn't really be there. Now, if you're going to keep your street, you can leave this line, or if you want to make a sidewalk, you can leave that line. Otherwise, you know, if there's nothing down here for this line to indicate, then you would get rid of that line as well. Not your horizon line, only where your horizon line crosses other things, would be behind other things.